Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of DOScider, our ranking of DOS games. It's good to see you, Grimmith. It's good to see everybody here tonight. For those that don't know, this is our show about, well, as I mentioned, ranking DOS games. I captured a little fast. So we've been ranking games for a while now. You can check out the full list at ilion.neocities.org or directly at DOScider.neocities.org. The Ilion one has all of the stuff that we do, but subs and patrons once a month get a game to request that I rank into the halls of DOSdom. And I've got a bit of a backlog because we had a lot of stuff going on the last month or so. So I appreciate everybody's patience, but we're getting around to them. There's also some really big, longer games involved in this. This one was a request from 22 Gay Emus, which we will be getting to in just a minute. Before I get to that, though, I do always like to run down just a very, very quick, overview. We're obviously not going to go through all 380? 379 games that we've ranked, but I like to go through the top 10, bottom 10, just give a little context. So we have, at number 1, we have Star Control 2, then ADOM, Ancient Domains of Mystery, Full Throttle at 3, Day of the Tentacle at 4, Doom at 5, Heroes of Might and Magic 2 at number 6, XCOM, UFO Defense at 7, I forgot to turn this down a little bit. Sorry about that. I know everybody always complains about that. NetHack at number 8. MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries at 9. And Lands of Lore, The Throne of Chaos at number 10. Last time we ranked a game that was kind of similar to this. We ranked... oh wow, and now I can't remember it off the top of my head. Anvil of Dawn, that's what it was. From New World Computing. Makers of Heroes of Might and Magic. Although, that was just the publisher. The developer was actually the developer that did Ravenloft, Strahd's Possession, which is another very well-known one. And speaking of some well-known series, we're going to be looking at an Ultima game? I have questions about this one. Let's go to the bottom 10. I'm jumping ahead. We have Extreme Paint Brawl. One of the best soundtracks, but unfortunately, the soundtrack is only for Windows, so it has to be here in the bottom 10. Awful garbage game with a audio soundscape that is to be listened to be believed. We have Snapperazzi, 3D Hamster's Adventure, The Fortress of Dr. Radiaki, The Flintstones, The Jetsons, Guts and Garters and DNA Danger, The Depths of Ocean, and what they can sink to are pretty low. Fourth worst DOS game, in fact. First person pinball, All Dogs Go to Heaven. Wait, fourth worst DOS game? That's right, because there's Police Quest 4 open season. Let's give it a couple more spaces, everybody. It deserves it. It needs the extra distance. Congratulations to the worst piece of media I have ever experienced. Congratulations, Sierra, you've done it. But speaking of worst media, I hope this one isn't. Although I missed somehow. We talked about it before. When we did Ultima Underworld, which was pretty high up. So, I have done no Ultima games. Ultima Underworld, I think, is the only Ultima game even on the list. I've never done an Ultima, really. Yeah, it is literally the only one. And that was my introduction to the series. I know what it's about. I did a Kalabeth, which is kind of pre-Ultima. And that one's very interesting, but very early. What the fuck is this? Where is Ultima going? Excuse... What do you mean Mars? What's happening here? I need somebody to explain to me what's going on with Ultima Worlds of Ultima 2, Martian Dreams, or Ultima Worlds of Adventure 2 Martian Dreams, whichever way you look at it. Where is it going? That's right, it goes in the square hole. This is a fucking square hole game, because my understanding is that Ultima was, like, I know about, like, you know, Lord British and, like, Ultima Online. I get the whole fantasy elements of it. We played Ultima Underworld. This is not that. This is like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter Ultima? Which, what the fuck? What is the Ultima series? I feel like I don't actually know anything about Ultima anymore. Cause it's just like Tesla or somebody is firing people in like 1901 to the Mars? Oh, okay, 1893, never mind, yeah, sure. Maybe we convince Musk to put everybody in a cannon and send them to Mars. But disaster struck. Someone fired all of them early. Premature discharge would not happen to all the leaders of the Victorian era. That seems, yeah, no way, Grimace. Wait, do we have to? We could leave them there. Wait, who exactly is it? Who are the leaders of the Victorian era? Can we get a list of names? Cause maybe we need to do some like pros and cons here before we go to Mars. Hey Momo, good to see you. You'd forgotten about this game. I had never heard of this game. I don't know much about Ultima, and now I feel like I know much less about Ultima having seen this. So, like, the fuck? Let's create a character by talking to Sigmund Freud, if I remember correctly. Yes, yeah, of course. You know, Sigmund Freud from Ultima. Well, yes, I am Jeef. Just allow me to ask you this. Which of your parents would you most closely identify with? Whoa, let's not get into mothers, okay, Freud? Listen. Oh, goddamn it. He still brought up the mom. You know, I specifically told Sigmund Freud no mommies, and he still went into mommies immediately. God damn it, Freud. I don't think you belong with us on this expedition. Wow, does this statement A, anger you, B, frighten you, or C, neither? Because your opinion doesn't matter. It's Freud, I don't give a fuck. C. You are once again a child. Your mother calls you... God, what's with the moms? Freud, have you ever heard of this thing called projection? Defy her wishes. Try to relax, Chief. Jeez. So defiant. Planned a journey to see an old friend of the opposite sex. Are you looking forward to, conversation or... fucking... Freud, please. The fucking... Were we traveling to see a friend or traveling to undertake some business? Generally I tend to travel for business, sure. Ah, we're realist and independent. I'd surmise that you have difficulty dealing with situations that you are not totally in control. Interesting. Okay, listen. Hey, game. Hey. Stop saying broad things that can apply to anybody and will make everybody feel like you're actually listening to them in some way. Don't cold read me. Alright, we're initializing Roland. Oh boy. I do like that when we walk into people, it's just blam. Gunshots. You hear something to the east. Oh, use what? Controls can't be used, please. Oh, of course. Silly me. Let's look at this. Ah, an oxygenated air machine, of course. Talk to blood. Greetings, my friends. Let me check you over while you're here. Can't be too careful, you know. Okay. So that's the healer, I guess? See a weathered man in his 30s. Howdy, Chief. Anything I can help you with? Get me off Mars. Never mind. Sure enough. Okay, so we have Nellie Bly. Oh dear, I'm afraid that I can't help you with that. Okay. Oh boy. Text parser plus this weird top-down thing is interesting. Help. Nonsense, I'm sure we'll get through this on our own if we just keep our heads. No, why don't you do it? See, the man in black and the man in white. Ah, Tesla this time, of course. Come, my friend, we've landed. Let us see how close my calculations were for our landing site. Why was everybody just standing around when it wasn't supposed to launch for a year? Ah, yes, how close are we to my landing site? Look out at Mars. I have no fucking clue where this is, because it's Mars. You probably need to do more than just look, Tesla. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, so I might just be an idiot. His calculations are precise as usual. You see, it's red, so it's Mars. Oh, this is the extra voyage that we went on. This is not the first one. I'm gonna go ahead and guess this is Mars. Yeah. Tesla's, really on the ball here, I gotta say. By the way, I very much do not buy into the whole mythology of Tesla. He was an idiot in a lot of ways. Like, there's things that he did that were good, but also, he thought that he made, like, an earthquake machine. He was a dummy in a lot of ways. He invented a lot of things that did absolutely nothing and just pretended they did a bunch of things. He was half charlatan, at least. I'd also check with Mr. Garrett. Ah, yes, of course. Oh, no, not Garrett. Because I think there's gotta be a Lord British in here somewhere, right? Nice engineering, asshole. Apologize, could you rephrase that? No. I will not. I call you a fraud. Guten Tag. Nothing. Oedipus. Don't worry, nobody understands it. Okay, discuss dreams. Sure. So... yeah, they tell me much about the person involved. For example, many people dream that they are being chased by something they cannot see. This usually indicates the individual is feeling oppressed, or has a duty to perform that is in some way unpleasant. Okay. Thanks? Okay, so we get a bunch of stuff. Got our backpack and carpet bag. Got all that stuff. Hey, Cormorants! Good to see you. When you're being chased by something you can't see, that's Keith. Yeah, he shows up a lot in mine too. You know Keith? That's cool. I thought I only knew Keith. Oh, that's Tesla's reflector kit. Sure. Okay, so one thing I don't remember having looked at this earlier. We've got all that stuff now. What do we do? How do we get into there? Oh, right! The manual doesn't tell us anything at all. I forgot about that. The manual is just this. That's why I don't remember. Here, let me show you. There might be another manual elsewhere, but the manual is literally just, oh hey look, here's all the people that are on the mission to Mars. It's just Mary Curie and Wyatt Earp and Thomas Edison. Is Keith the Hat Man? Man, everybody knows Keith. I thought that he was pretty unknown. Okay, I do need to look real quick. Yeah, okay, that is all that they have on this one for the manual also. I feel like... Okay, there's the clue book, which I don't necessarily want. Sorry about this. One moment. Apologize for taking a little more time with this. Oh, come on. Sorry, I found on archive.org that they had it, but also then it was like, oh, actually, we don't actually have it inside of there, even though it says that there is one there, but there's no manual in there. Because the problem is I don't know how to get to my inventory. Okay, I mean, we can pass, great, but... Okay, I'm kind of curious. Oh, we like to drop. Because that's stuck. And like Tesla told us about the utensil. So Garrett was here. Got me a Pridar and some other doodads. Speaking of equipment, one thing you might want to do is check out the hold over there and see what they have in the way of gear. Yeah, that's great, but I need it. I would love the pry bar. Okay. Does it just automatically use? No. Use nothing. No, I want to use something that's in our inventory. Oh, here we go. Okay. There we are. Ah, perfect. Some lady silk gloves, a pith helmet, our silk scarf. Oh boy, lots of stuff in that bag. I like the implication that we were walking around naked before this. Hey, emus, good to see you. This is gonna turn into a murder mystery. I have no idea what this is going to turn into because it is wild nonsense. Edison and Tesla are not in the same spot. Tesla is coming to rescue Edison, which seems like equally weird. Okay, there's all of our stats. There's the next person. Got you. There's no good manual for this, like, anywhere to find, which is unfortunate. Ooh, Nelly, oh man, Nelly Bly is packing heat. Gotcha. Tinderbox, lamp oil, ball Arcane Hammer. Machete. Huh. And a lantern. Okay. Attack with hatchet. No, I want to attack with the pry bar. Or use? There we go. Oh, this interface is awful. You think you were just 6 or 7 when you first played this? Wild. Place the pry bar under the edge of the hatch and push with all your strength. As the hatch flies off, you feel yourself pulled toward the opening by the air rushing out of the capsule. That's good, right? Find it harder to breathe in the cold ocean atmosphere. You die very quickly. It doesn't help that there's no manual. And yeah, the UI is very stylized, Victorian-era levers and knobs and things, and also terrible. Best that you acquire some kind of oxygen supply. Okay, got you. Okay, actually, you really shouldn't breathe Martian air, as it turns out. We kind of fucked up. Nellie Bly gasps for air. Yeah. Yeah, it seems bad. When I say that there's no manual either, from everything that I remember looking at this for, it's been a little while since I, like, looked into this, because we had all the real life stuff going on that kind of interrupted things. But I looked around. It took me a minute to remember when I looked again. And then I was like, oh, right. I could not find a manual anywhere for it. Like, I don't think there is one. It seems like the manual is the biographies of the famous characters, and then a clue book, and an install guide, all of which are useful, but not as useful as, I don't know, hey, how do I get to my inventory? As an example. Just, you know, to pull something out randomly. A tutorial. What do these symbols mean? Like, when we go here, you immediately have, like, okay, strength, dex, int, HP, HM? Which is, is that hit point maximum? I guess? Instructions on using a pry bar. Yeah, yeah. Like, when we do commands for these people, what does that actually mean? Do we have to equip the gun? I guess so. You know, just little things that you might want to actually know about. Baldur's Gate wishes it was this interesting. Baldur's Gate just has lame fictional characters like Carlatch. This one has awesome fictional characters like Thomas Edison and Tesla. You cannot get a flower, you idiot. You moron. It's a flower. Follow leave no trace principles, Jeef, please. Okay. The fuck is this? Yeah, it's a good thing that Freud is fictional, that's true. Oh, it's a Oh, okay, now I can understand the perspective. I couldn't figure that out for a second. Let's see, a tall plant. A broken egg robot, sure. A hard-shelled plant, of course, as you would think. So why the fuck does this have Ultima branding on it? My thought, this just feels like it's the very cynical, like, Origin wanted to do something different, and people understand Ultima, so it's Ultima, actually. Like, because this also feels like it's an adventure game, not an RPG. Using the Ultima engine, you guess? Yeah, maybe. This feels like a marketing thing. I know that people really like Origin as a game dev, but... And of course, as a system for launching games off of Windows. Who doesn't? You know, when they got their wonderful second life that everybody liked them for. Oofa. What? What? People love Origin systems. The way that you launch games on PC. Every time haven't you seen all the memes about, like, thank Lord British type stuff for, like, saving PC marketing? Letting us all enjoy a wonderful storefront? Okay. Did we do anything there? I wonder. I think no. Ah, but we do find a thing. Got you. Ah, now we're carrying too much. Oh boy. So, I don't think we're carrying too much in a way, because I bet that we can give... I don't want to put it... Can I, like... Wait, okay. There we go. I can command Spectre... No, what it... Wait a minute. How do I... Can I not change to... Because, like, what if I want him to pick things up? right? Do you know what I mean? It seems like mostly a text adventure that plays like butts because it's using a TTRPG interface. Yes. It also seems like butts is a TTRPG interface. I'm going to be entirely honest. Having used a lot of RPG interfaces recently, this is pretty ass for that too. Don't worry. Hey, good to see you, gamer. Breaking Lurk from over here to say that from what you remember, both Worlds and Adventure games are using the Ultima 6 engine. Alt history settings, yeah. Heavily assumed players had played the main. Yeah, it was back in the day where they would just assume that you were like a fan of the series and they were just making it for you already. Definitely, which is weird. It's weird to imagine back in those days. Like, well, yeah, I mean, of course you know how the game play. We don't need to do a manual. You've played Ultima before, and it's like, well, but what if I haven't? Because we definitely need to be able to pass stuff between people, right? I mean, we have the bag also. Okay, if we get it out of the bag... I can't put it in the bag, though. God damn it. Yeah, there is a quick reference guide, but I looked at that and it didn't actually have the stuff, but... Maybe you're right. If you've got one, I would be interested to know. Because one thing is I feel like I need to grab everything here. Thank you, Ghidorah. Oh, there it is. Okay, you're right. There it is. Fair enough. Begin break off combat. Other keyboard commands. Control R restores our last saved game. Control Q gets rid of our last game. Control S will save. Man, this feels very dated even for 91. Having played a lot of these games recently. The loop of the music, I'm glad they have music because a lot of games didn't. But it's... Ooh, it's got a fade out. That's kind of nice. It sure is a very short loop. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we've activated solo mode. Uh-oh. Now I just realized. How do I undo solo? How do we not solo? Oh, there we go, 0. Got you, got you. It feels like there's gotta be an easier way to pass some of the items. Doesn't seem to be any power for the machinery. Okay. Thank you, Ghidorah. I looked high and low for that. And yeah, all of the stuff that I found for it showed the reference guide as just the getting started guide. So thank you for finding that. A lot of the stuff is, unfortunately, you go to like websites like a game. There was one that was like gamemanuals.com or whatever, but it's all just, yeah, gamemanuals.net. But you can only go there because it's just Internet Archive Wayback Machine, which means you can't use things like search functions. And it doesn't really have most of what you need anyway anymore at that point. Internet's pretty dead in a lot of things. You remember being able to, but you played this in like 94? Yeah. It's incredible how when you look at games now, it's like, and just search engines and stuff now, that you cannot find things that would have been very easy to get in, say, like 2005. Why, hello. You see a sexteliger. I won't sexteller either if you don't. Okay. Oh! Begin combat. Okay, also, we'll have him on a regular attack. I really needed to give him a weapon. Oops. I should have dropped. It's hard to pass things between characters. You have to, like, drop a thing. I'm glad that we've got Nellie Bly over there just blasting. That's a lot of nastiness. This is unfortunate. Sort of chisel. Were we supposed to get, like, oxygen stuff that would help us? Okay. Listen. Guys? I appreciate this, but we're gonna fucking leave, okay? We're probably supposed to follow these? I wonder. I have no idea where the rest of our team is. Ooh, Spectre's pretty hurt. Okay, this is pretty close to where our ship was. Uh-oh. Holy shit, Tesla. There's stuff living on Mars and it's not friendly. Get us out of here. Send me back to Earth. Also, sorry. I got interrupted here. Oh. Hi. What? I can tell by your demeanor that someone's been injured. There I am, just like dripping blood. I like crawl in. Just because we have like 150 health normally and we're at like 30. I've got like some ribs exposed. Hi. He's like, my scientific reasonings deduce that I think somebody might be hurt. Ah, the wounds are superficial in nature. Rub some dirt on it. Everyone in my party is well now. What about Spectre? Oh boy. Oh no. I broke off combat while they were a long ways away. And now, like, every move... Look at how long this is taking. Oh, man. Okay. I hit move. Uh-huh. Oh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Wow. This is an interesting idea. And I feel like a lot of how it works is not amazing. Ultima, if we put our flagship series name in the game title, it'll surely sell World of Adventure. Okay, see, I'm not the only person that's full of cynicism. Good to see you, J-Dub. That's also what I thought. I'm like, this is just a marketing ploy, right? Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna... stay there. Did use the Ultima 6 engine. Yeah, who fucking cares? That doesn't mean jack shit. I mean, I guess back in the day, they cared more about that stuff for sure. This game's no Ultima 6, let me tell ya. Sure, but I don't know. Saying, like, here... I'm just trying to think of, like... Like, imagine if they had said, instead of, like, because you're saying, like, oh yeah, like, they put Ultima on this, and it makes sense. Imagine if it was Doom, Quest for the Sigil. Would you think that was okay? Would you be alright with that? Really? I think Strife is fine. It's a pretty cool game. Obviously, I ranked it pretty high. But I mean, if they said Doom Quest for the Sigil, I think everyone would rightly go, oh, fuck that. It's like, well, it's in the Doom engine. Yeah, okay. What the fuck does that mean? We're playing the Avatar from the Ultima series. Sure, fine. Well, like, Ultima Underworld is still an RPG and still, like, the fantasy setting and such. I mean, like, it doesn't... I can understand changing the setting a bit and everything, like, I get it. But this is a wild departure. Like, you just find a time machine and get into there. Yeah, slap Doom Guy into a Napoleonic game. I mean... The Strife thing, I think, works because you go from being like a marine on Mars to it slapping you into like fantasy setting, going around like breaking into jail cells and stealthing, which is... Thank God you've made it, sir. Get us the fuck off this rock. Mars sucks. It'll be wonderful exploring with you. Let's go to the trader's outpost at Arsia, Mons, and get you outfitted for survival on Mars. Ah yes, Mr. Carnegie was just making it into space steel here on Mars. When we sent Rasputin to Mars. Oh, that's fucking great, actually. That's amazing. Oh my god. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, we just let Rasputin lead a party. Okay. Created east, sure. Who's Jack Segal? Great-grandfather of Steven, I'm sure. He's teaching everyone how to do Aikido on Olympus. Ah, we now have dibs. Got you. Okay, I do love that we go from, like, chair to chair. Just sitting in both of them. That's real good. I do have a book of people. That's true. This heavily draws from John Carter? No? No, I doubt it. I would be very surprised. John Carter... Okay, so the John Carter of Mars... You don't know anything about John Carter of Mars, huh? John Carter of Mars? Mars is not Mars. And now you're like, wait, the fuck are you talking about? No, there's... In John Carter of Mars, there is no Mars. It does not... No one goes to Mars. There is no... Mars does not feature. Mars features... Because it's a different planet called Mars. It is not our Mars. It is literally not this Mars. It's a different... It's Mars, yes. But it's not Mars. Not that one. Which you might be going, the fuck are you talking about? That's stupid. And, I mean... Yeah, a little. Just a little. Oh, hell yeah. Nellie Bly's gonna be so happy for those. Mon Carter of Jars, yes. Go outside and point at one of the brighter dots. You mean not that one. Exactly. Oh, kitty. I know, I hear you. Getting items to different characters is a massive pain in the ass. What, bud? Go ahead, you can come up. Oh, yeah? You can't have my drink. No, don't. Hi. We got him shaved recently. Just yesterday, actually. And whenever he gets his haircut, he turns into a little monster. Yes, he becomes a rapscallion. More than usual. But yeah, my understanding of John Carter of Mars is that Mars is involved, but it's not... It's just a different Mars, which is like such a fucking weird thing to say, but it is. Hi. Oh, buddy. Okay, I have also a better example of, like, them slapping Ultima on this because it uses the engine. I mean, this is back in the day where that kind of thing was more acceptable because it's the Wild West of computer gaming still. Like, 91, you're barely out of the 80s. Games are just getting graphics. Like, it's kind of... Like, I get it. There's not really an established protocol for naming things and stuff like that. Boy, it seems like some bullshit. But it would kind of be like, so like there's other games on the Quake engine. So imagine if instead of X-Men Ravages of Apocalypse, they went Quake Ravages of Apocalypse and just had all of like the X-Men characters. And did that. Like... Yeah, his weight-trained fur removed. There's nothing to inhibit his criminality. Honestly, he's generally nicer, actually. He wants to snuggle constantly. But the problem is, he wants to snuggle constantly. Yeah, I know, I get it. Oh man, old Nellie Bly is really equipped now. She's got bullets, a gun, and a bottle of wine. Like, I'm not trying to ready this. I just want to see what it is. Is there a way for me to do that without it just defaulting to this? Like, carried items. No, there's no way to see it. You have to just click on it, and then it tells you can't ready this! But then it also tells you what it is, so there is that. Which is great. I don't think look does it. Buddy. Speaking of looking. Like, I mean, maybe. Okay, yeah, we can... I can't L and do it like I normally would. Or, oh, maybe I can? Oh god, it wasn't doing it before. Weird. Huh. Yeah, alright, whatever. I'm trying to see around the cat. Okay, buddy. He has entered into the, like, dial-up noises part of his brain. Oh, because we're in solo mode, of course. So it won't let us do that yet. Not everyone is here, so... Whoa, they're like 10 squares away, sorry. Right, of course. Now we can go into party mode. And now we can go between people. Got you. Games this era not being 100% consistent, perish the thought. Yeah, I do feel that they could do a better job of that, though. Alright, so we've got spectacles. Oh, thank God. That looks like some bullets? Yeah, you bet. Hell yeah. Elephant gun. Oh, now Nelly is locked and loaded. We can't ready spectacles. Why not? I mean, no place to... Fine. Unready that, then bring elephant gun. Fine. Okay, we're all freezing. The problem is, I don't really know what else we should do here. I guess try and find shelter, but... because we can't close the hatch on that, so I guess we should hurry up on this road. No, the map looks huge for this. Combat has broken off. This is not the worst system that I've seen for controlling a big party, but it's not great. Ooh, Nelly is looking pretty bad. Oh shit. Goddamn, so she's actually fucking dead. I see. What are we doing? Okay. Also, why are they not freezing? Oh. Right, okay. I was not actually wearing a chest piece. Nor was Nelly, I guess? Nelly was just letting it all hang out, gotcha. She had her elephant gun, that was fine. God. So I keep on thinking that I have to go into combat. Because otherwise, like, why would they have the combat? If it just automatically does it anyway. Turning it on seems silly, so I keep on trying to do that. We cross the canal. The rest of our party is gone. There they are. Okay, well, here's something to the east. Trees and porcupods. I do like that it just drops things like sextillager and porcupod. And I'm like, what can I see more about? No. No, that's what it is. Shut up. They're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure the idea is to use it to, like you said, do things like set up ambushes, kind of like do stuff out of, get tricky with it, essentially. I can understand why they want to do that. It's just... It feels like one of those finicky little bits that they just didn't need to have. Oh, sure, yeah. There's the book that's the... I'm sure that that's the book. I'm pretty sure I've actually seen that. That's all of, like, the enemies on Mars and stuff. Which I wasn't complaining about that so much. It's just more... It's more interesting, actually, like I said. That they were just willing to be like, no, look it up, then. Yes, yeah, flora and fauna, yeah. The sextillators, all that stuff. Love when a game is just like, we're not putting that in the game. Go fucking read a book about it. Ultima is unsurprisingly square in that one camp. But, like, here's the thing. I'm not trying to be, like... I don't want to be overly mean or anything about this game. I'm just trying to think of it as, like... This game is mired in a past, even in 1991. Because... as much as, in some ways, I kind of like the read a book about it, idiot. We're just gonna die here. That's okay. Oh, and then it kicks us out. I wanted to see what a death screen looked like. That's sick. Hell yeah. But, so to go on to what I was trying to say here is that, like, it's mired in a past because, yeah, 91's really early, and it does get a lot of a pass for that, right? Like, there's a reason why a bunch of these things are done the way that they are, because that's the way they had been done, and they had an engine and all that kind of stuff. But it's still an old style game, even for 91 in a lot of ways. Because, like, sure, there are a lot of games that had a lot of jank to them, and you would have to, like, read a bunch of the stuff in the book and do all of this weird mixed interface of half mouse and half, like, keyboard controls. But... Oh. Did I? No, I did save here. Okay, yeah. I was like, is there, like, actual, like, auto-save points? But no. Give me one moment here. What did I think of the intro? It's interesting. I thought it was okay. Yes, she doesn't have a jacket. So drop. This wool overcoat. Drop it there. Then we go to 3, which is Nelly. Nelly gets it. Nelly puts it on. Okay. Simple. So to get to my point very quickly, which I'm doing a bad job of, but let me get to there. Like, look at the contemporaries in 91, right? This is not fully a contemporary, because it's from 92, but there's another game that, like, can give us an idea of, if you were to really do forward thinking, instead of backwards thinking and looking at your old engine and trying to build a game around it, what could you do in the early 90s for a DOS game? Well, what if What if you did this? A little game from 1992. Just a year later. That might immediately, like, I don't know, jump into some, like, plot stuff and not require you to go back and reference your whole book and not need you to jump backwards and back and forth constantly between using a mouse and using your keyboard. And, like, just have an intro in-game that immediately starts putting plot at you. I don't know, maybe you could do something like that. With, like, themes for the villains and stuff even. Dang. Anyway. Just a thought of, like, a different game. And it's unfair, because that is the best DOS game ever made. As we all know. But also, then go back to this and go, oh, right, yeah, these are basically contemporary games. And that kind of just feels wrong. Like, okay, if I don't want to use the keyboard and I just use the mouse, I guess I can do these drops like this and set that up. Oh, but no, I would still have to go 3 to get to Nelly. To then... So like if I didn't want to use the keyboard as much, I could do it that way. If I want to use the keyboard more, I then can't use it to, like, pick these things in inventory and stuff like that. Hey, Queen of Lasers, good to see you. Oh, we do have mitts on. Why is she still cold? Does she need a hat, maybe? Oh, right. So we gotta go back to party mode. Oh, there's scarves and a hat. Okay, so let's drop a hat and drop a scarf. There we are. Okay, go back to party mode. Yeah, this game doesn't seem bad. It's just clunky and kind of old-fashioned even for its day. Oh, Tibbs has no ranged weapons. Right. We had Dibs' AI at range. Let's just send him to attack. Yeah, no, the game's it's an interesting premise. And it's not horrible. But it's also just like... Yeah, the clank is... Oh, right. I had to break off combat to get them to come with us. Oh, wait. We're back in combat because there was another creeper that I didn't see. So it gets really hard to know when we're in combat. We could control everyone. It's hard to know when we would want to break off combat and when we wouldn't. Especially in the dark, which I guess is thematic. They're kind of trying to do that. It being dark at night. Get Spectre out of the way. Okay, I think we can break off combat. I think? So this looks like part of a settlement, maybe? It did seem like it'd be difficult to play, but it's a neat story. Yeah, that would probably be the saving grace here. Like, the premise of it is wild, which is kind of great. I'm down for a very wild premise. But also, it is clunky in a way that is really tough to put into words. Uh-oh, Dibs is like real fucked up somewhere. As is Spectre. Oh, and we can't go into solo and in combat mode. I think that I'd have to individually command each of them, so if we went... Because, like, I'd like to know how they're doing. So I think we do that. Oh, well... Okay, I can't move. Why can I not move? Oh, maybe I was hitting their corpses? Sure. Where is Nelly? Right. Non-combat mode. Let's break off combat. Where's Nelly? There's Nelly. Okay. Back to non-combat. This is a real nightmare to control in a lot of ways. I'm not sure I'd have the patience to do this. Wait, why are we back in combat? Get back here. I mean... I think that you'll all... I've been around here long enough playing a lot of these games that I would like to think that you'd understand that I am definitely okay with some jank in my games. Even a lot of jank in my games. But this is... this is a lot. Like Draken. Yes, yes, exactly. Who doesn't love Draken? Oh, okay. Don't step on pseudopods. Maybe Maybe I should just stick to the canal until we find another road again? I guess? This is more clunky than Draken was, yeah. But, like, again, look at... Because it's trying to do a lot of really complex things in this game, right? And so it gets a little bit of a pass for having some clunk because you're trying to do all of that. So you've got a bit of a learning curve and things like that. But look at how, again, to compare it to another game, which is a little unfair because we've talked about it, talking about games that are on the absolute top of my list. And this is why they're at the top of my list. But, like, I sat down with Adom, and it was just instant. I was like, oh, that's how everything works. Adom just plays naturally. Like, it just, the way that it does it, it's smooth. It is very complicated. It's as complicated as this, if not more. But the way that it sets it all up is just buttery. It's so easy to get into. All of the stuff is really natural and fast. And this is not that at all. Like, no one wants levers for combat and things like that. Like, this is garbage. This is absolute ass. Right? Like, we gotta admit, this sucks. That sucks a lot. Yeah, and like NetHack, exactly. There's lots of complex games that can still do a really good job of smoothing stuff out, for sure. How do we get known? We have to have proof of your integrity of soundness of mind. Okay. Daft people from Elysium. So let me just spell proof wrong for you. That'll prove how good I am. Okay. I say so. Would my voucher for Jeef qualify? So I'll gladly give it. What? You haven't been to our settlements in weeks. Wow. Sherman, Yellen, and Dupre? If they'll vouch for you, then I can let you pass. $10 North, 71 East. And in the meantime, we're still freezing. So... like, we now have all of the reference guide. We've had all the mysteries of Mars manuals. We have all of these things. There's nothing about, like, what to do if you're cold. How can you tell how much, like, heat resistance you have? Or, like, cold resistance? There's nothing like that. There's no way to start a fire. You can get into a tent in the manual, which is how you rest, and that's how you level up. And there's also, like, it's telling us coordinates. There's not... Where are the coordinates? Where would I actually find those? How would I know what that coordinate means? Because, like, again, let me show you. And maybe I'm missing something. Like, we've got status to play or display our strength, X, HP, int, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the color of our health is definitely the temperature. Yeah, like with it being white, that's what we're freezing. But like some of it was if we had more gear on, that helped us. But there's no way to actually look at the gear for it to like tell you exactly like the effect that it has. Like, it does say walking around Mars without an clothes is dangerous, but we are clothed, fully clothed, and it's still not enough. Which, that's fair. But then what else do we do about it? We need to get into the settlement. Okay. That's going to take a while. In the meantime, we're freezing. Was there gear at the bullet? Yeah, no, we grabbed all that. Yeah, we have all those kinds of things. That's what I'm saying. But if you look at, like, again, the map. Like, okay, let's look at... Like, I'm mostly thinking about, okay, we need to get to that next area that it told us about to the west. And it gave us coordinates. What coordinates? The map is just this is what it's like our main screen is what it's talking about. It's the view centered on us. And then it's above the map, the current position of the sun is shown. And then we can use the mouse or keyboard to move our characters. And then that's it. There's no coordinates. And then it tells us what all the command levers do, which, yeah, that's great. What the fuck do the coordinates mean? How do I get to those coordinates? Where are we in the coordinates right now? Yeah, there are no coordinates even on the paper map as far as I could see. So there's kind of nothing. You're just like... It gives you a rough idea. I mean... Because I could look at where we were... based on our earlier conversations about where Olympus is. And be like, oh, okay, well, that's like a lower number, so I'm guessing that means we need to go more west. But, like, at best, guesswork. And yeah, we can't rest is the problem. Like, use... It does say that we can use a tent, but I have to imagine that we'd need the tent. We did not get a tent from any of the things that we found. Oh, okay. There's a sextant somewhere, it does say in the use section, that will give us the latitude and longitude of our current location, so we'd have an idea. But if we find the sextant, we didn't... Did we get a sextant? I don't think we did. I don't remember seeing it. There's the tinderbox. We should probably try and start a fire. You're right. We have the note. Hand drill. Yeah, none of these is a sextant. We could look at what Dibs has. Nothing, right? Okay, well, we've got that. Right. That was a tent. I thought I read it as a sleeping bag. Fair enough. That's my fault. I guess. How would you like to level up with Book Harder Sword? What? Oh my god. Nellie Bly's got heart. So does Dibs, I guess. Sure. Oh, the lantern was still on the whole night, of course. Kind of fair, but also... Oh boy. We're making a little progress in figuring out how to live, yeah. Too bad that we had to have someone die from our party already. Alright, we should probably take a look. Let's go on the road and see if we can find... What the hell is this? Oh, was that... I think that was our friend. Yes, it definitely was. Alright, we're gonna go back to the last area and see if we can't find a sextant. We picked everything out of the first area and there was no sextant in that. Like, just to triple check. Ready oil. That's oil? What? Huh. That definitely reads as a ring. Like, this reads as sleeping bag. This reads as ring. There's a lot of things that I'm not getting immediately, I guess. Man, Nelly is just wrecking him with that elephant gun. What are above the boots in our inventory? That's a hand drill. It looked like a telescope. Yeah, no, it's a hand drill. So, possibly useful. Not useful here, though. Okay, Nelly. God damn it. It definitely seems like you kind of need to just command everyone if you actually want this to work. Pop 'em, Nelly. Good job. Can we shoot through him? We can. Interesting. Dang, Nelly is kicking ass. My point is furthered in just the clunkiness of it. Right, sorry, gotta get out of combat mode, then back into party mode. Oh, how stuff doesn't read correctly because of the hand drill thing. Yeah. Yeah. Mug, mortar, pestle, and spectacles. Where's the sextant? See, like, I don't... Was there a sextant somewhere? I don't think we found a sextant anywhere. We grabbed everything from there. Like, we've been pack-ratting everything. Just in case it was useful, and I still haven't found one. Huh. Maybe I have to ask around for a sextant? That'd be very funny. Yeah, one of the last things that I'll say about, like, the story side of things, the premise is kind of interesting, and I could see how this story could get good. The problem is there's, like, no real impetus at the start, it feels. Like... I was wondering if they exploded. Alright, let's... What if we just don't attack those? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we had to ask the person about the pry bar. Exactly. Okay, so this isn't right. Where was the ship again? It was pretty much directly north of that, like, agrobot. So I'm surprised I didn't see it, because that's where we went north from. And I swear that's how we found it last time. Yeah, here. What is this thing anyway? A bromelioid. Okay. This is definitely wrong. But I don't know if there's much we can do differently to find it. So I might just continue on and see what we can find in here. Like, maybe someone will have a sextant. This is also a game where if we want to have another character, we just have to wipe everything. Like, if we wanted to check out the beginning again, I'm pretty sure, like here, we're getting near the end. I think that I've seen lots. So let's... Okay, we just had to exit to DOS. There's no, like, going back to menu, which is kind of, you know, like, that was just a thing at the time. I think that's my problem here in a lot of ways, is, like, none of it is bad. Well, okay. Some of it is kind of bad, but it's not, like, wildly out of place bad kind of thing. Annoying, but of the era. But when you look at, like, the games that are good from this time, the games that are classics that you like, or of pretty much any era, it's not games that are, like, you look at and you go, well, that's how they did things at the time. It's games that you look at and you go, Wow, I can't believe they did that this early. I can't believe they did this in this game. That's such a cool idea. And this game has kind of none of that. Like, maybe the story, but the story doesn't actually have any impetus to the start of it. It might get there, but at the beginning it's just like, we pluck you from the main line of Ultima and drop you into this stuff because, we thought it'd make money. It's kind of how it feels, right? Like, and it's kind of a wild idea, which is cool. That part of it's great. Oh. Right. There's a different introduction also. Okay, I didn't actually mean to do that, but sure. Friend, I came alone. Greetings, Avatar. It's got good, like, this stuff, it's so funny because these cutscenes and the pixel art in them is much better than basically anything else you actually have in the game, right? Like, this is the more forward-thinking side of things. Boy, a compass would have been really great for being on Mars. Dang, it's too bad that we killed Dr. Spectre. My god, the orb worked. My friend is Avatar. Ah, they're anarchists. Get them. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Bly. Yeah, we gave her a gun. She'll be useful. Yeah. And then continue game just has the one save. Oof. Okay, so I'm kind of curious. I want to see if there's a way for us to get the sextant, because that would make the game usable at the beginning. So I'm just kind of curious what bullshit they want us to go through to actually have that happen. So let me take a look. Oh, I didn't erase the character. I'm a dummy. My brain immediately says, well, like, we'll just run the game, not go to erase current character. Okay, we have erased all of our saves. The only way to start a new thing in this... Like, it's things like that that are just like, oof. Ooh. You can kind of be like, okay, well, in 88, sure. But, like, by 91, you're kind of like, come on. Come on. Come on. You didn't have multiple saves. There's no way to go back. Like, if anything bad happens, you just lose hours at a time because you didn't have a save that was a little closer or something. No, nothing. Okay, does it give us just a standardized character? Because we didn't create a new one. Or do we have to go through all of that? Oh my fucking god. You must first create a character. Kick you back out. It didn't kick us to DOS. Although... that is very blank. Oh, there we go. The load times on this are long also. Like, really long. And it doing this every time. Like that. Okay, that's great. Cool. Can I just want to get to the menu. And then by the time that you've pressed a bunch of things, it buffered it and we'll pick it. It'll run like introduction or something for you instead. Oh. Ugh. Nasty. Ah! Is my... Okay. There we go. There, we now have our character. And it crashed. We may have some possible issues with this game. I feel like I'm becoming more and more justified in being like, huh, I know that Ultima is like a really well-renowned series, but also, this one, huh? This one is, boy. Yes, yeah, okay. No! No! Fuck! Okay, there we go. It buffered all of our inputs. Oh boy. Hey, Seahorse. Good to see you. Yeah, no, the intro's neat. There's some cool stuff there. Is it maybe that I didn't... Candlestick, a mug, place settings, crystal glass, no. And find a knife, a knife, a knife, a knife, a knife. Okay, yeah. There's the sextant. Okay, so I didn't open up every box, I guess. I must have missed one. I was wondering if it was going to be one of the nailed shut boxes that we needed to use a pry bar on. Hoofda. Okay, well now, at least it's not like asking a character. That's better. Although then you have to imagine that now every time that I want to use the sextant, like using an item in this game, this is something that's kind of killing me. It's not slightly randomized. I looked also at a FAQ and it's got locations of everything. So I would be surprised. So I don't think that's the case. I don't think that this would be able to randomize like that either. I will say, inside of the walkthrough, there is a character named Cooter McGee, and that does maybe knock it up a notch for me. We'll have to wait until we rank it. But as I was saying, okay, so we've got the sextant. Let's say that we want to use it, right? So I have my mouse. And I have my keyboard. Generally, the rule is keyboards are faster. And we talked about this before, where there's a weird, like, era of mice in computer games, where you go from they aren't used at all because they don't exist, to then you might expect some mouse use, or they might like give something that has it. You must be outside in order to use a sextant. We'll see. But, like, they might have some use or just, like, put all of the use on the mouse. Like, for example, like Doom, where it's just like, oh, well, yeah, you can just use mouse control, which is just use a mouse only, which you do not want to do, because they had no idea that was a bad idea at the time. And then you get to the point where they'll sometimes like force you to use the mouse and keyboard, but in like really awkward ways in games like this. And then they kind of eventually hit the happy medium of more modern style games, and they start slowly moving that direction. This one is the weird, awkward one where it's like, it doesn't know if it wants to be a keyboard game or a mouse game, and it ends up in this weird position where it's kind of both and neither, because, alright, we want to use... This is a very complex game. For the most part, we're using, you know, like arrow keys and then actions. Like U would be use, you know, like drop to do that. Oh, wow, it actually just went into our inventory this time. Wait, what? Because it did not do that before. Yeah, so when we hit use, it doesn't go to our inventory. So we can only use, like, things that are around us. Unless we then use the mouse and go up here and then click on the sextant. So it's kind of demanding both. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, split the difference, but a 7-10 split in a weird way. Like, it's not horrible, but then you're like, okay, well, fine, I'll just use the mouse. But using only the mouse means that you then go, like, because, like, okay, like, oh, you don't want to do this movement this way. Like, that sucks. And then you have to go use, and, like, oh, that's not better, right? Like, that's not really where you want to be either. So it's not at the days where you start getting into like the WASD stuff. It's definitely trying to get you to use 3 hands, because the way to do it would be to have your one hand on arrow keys, one hand on being able to like 1, 2, 3 to switch between party members and like the F keys, stuff like that, like hitting U to use objects or G to get them, all that kind of stuff. So you're using your other hand on the main part of the keyboard. And then you need the third hand to get the mouse for the things that are not covered by the first 2 hands. And this is far from the only game that does it. Not even close. Like, it is fairly standard of the time, but it's just one of those things that it does jump out at you the more that you play, right? When you're looking at it from a more modern perspective, you're kind of like, yeah, this just doesn't it's just kind of clunky. It doesn't feel right. It's not the way that you would want to do it. So that is Ultima Worlds of Adventure 2 Martian Dreams, which... Okay, I am confused about something else too. What is there Ultima Worlds of Adventure 1? Because I think that they're just saying Worlds of Ultima, the Savage Empire is 1, but it's different. Because, like, that's not the same name. That kind of killed me. Dreadmore control issues. Yes. Yeah, it's not Dreadmore. Dreadmore fell into the same trap, but 20 years later. Which is why I might have some problems with Dreadmore. Because Dreadmore definitely does the same thing, but also... Jesus Christ, Dreadmore, it's 2012 when you came out. It doesn't... This is at least 91. Like, this feels like a bit of a stumbling hole that they fell into 20 years ago. After 20 years, it's exceptionally egregious. Here, it's just like... It is not a huge sin against the game, because a lot of games were like this. But it is one of those things that is the line between a good game, or like a decent game, and a great game. Yeah, the World of Adventure 1 is, I believe, like you said, like, it's Worlds of Ultima, the Savage Empire, I believe. But, like... That's really weird, because it's not named the same. It's Worlds of Ultima, the Savage Empire. And then the other one is Ultimate Worlds of Adventure 2, Martian Dreams. Those aren't the same naming conventions, is all I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure that that's the first and second is what they're trying to say for the spin-offs. But it's a weird naming convention. Is this better than a Calabeth? A Calabeth was the forward-thinking game, is the weird thing. Like, it's a much older game, but it is, like... It's a dungeon crawler before dungeon crawlers existed, so it's kind of rad because of that. This has a lot of this... Actually, this is a good area for us to be in now that I think about it, because it's got a lot of the clunk that the summoning does. The summoning is another game that's like, wow, it's got some cool ideas. This one, the cool ideas I say are mostly in the story. The summoning had really neat ideas for, like, its spell casting system. And some other things like that, too, as well as the story. So I think I like summoning a bit better. But it also has some of the same clunk where it's just... Doing actions and going through all of your inventory and stuff could be a real chore in that game. I think it's still worse in this one. Like, passing items between characters is a nightmare in this. Yes, absolutely, emus. Yep. No, yeah. Like, having your left hand on keys and right hand switch between arrows and mouse is a thing that happens in a lot of the games of the era. No question. But like I said, that's what will... I'm using it as an example as to why this game... Because if the game didn't have that, it might be way up here. Because, like, that's why something like Star Control 2, or, I mean, not the only reason, far from it, but one of the big reasons why Star Control 2 is way up here, and something like Solar Winds or other ones are further down. It's just that, like, even in similar style games, is that this has almost no clunk. Like, this thing just runs. It all makes sense. It doesn't have those weird hard points on that. Yeah. Okay. Spider-Man the Sinister Six. This is a weird one. Is it better than that? Spider-Man Sinister Six is a ride. You need to see 92. It's a terrible game in a lot of ways, but also incredibly compelling. Inventory management is kind of a huge pain in the ass for the whole Ultima series. Yeah, that's unfortunate. See, like, World of Zine or something, too, like, which is just... It's essentially just keyboard and mouse. It's not great controls for inventory management, but it's way better than this. Just worlds better. Ultima Worlds better, you could even say. Worlds of Adventure more. Oh, you should see that. Yeah, get it if you can. Either watch this episode or like play it yourself, because goddamn, it's a ride. It's an adventure game. It's just the story is. The story and things that they choose to do in it are choices. There's a lot of choices that get made in Spider-Man the Sinister Six, and you can make a lot of those choices yourself. You can make choices in Spider-Man. It's definitely better than that, I think. I like... This game is awkward because there's some things about it. Like, I like the premise. The pixel art at the beginning and the intros are great. Like, they're actually pretty rad. The art for those and the animation and everything is actually really top-notch for the day. And then you immediately jump into this, like, super clunky overhead thing where, like, your inventory management is a nightmare. And it's just... I don't mind games that are complex. I mean, I have ADOM as my number 2 game on DOS, but... complexity does not mean illegibility. Yeah, this is a real roller coaster, because the highs are pretty alright, and the lows are dang. Which, that actually feels very Dune, also. I think I don't like it as much as Dune. I think that this is exactly the right spot for it. It's a really neat idea, and I don't think it executes on it well enough to get into really good spots. But it still does some cool things. I'd like to actually see where the story goes. I don't know that I would have the patience to get there, which is unfortunate. There's a few of those games for sure. But even just one last thing real quick, like to give another counterexample as to like why I'm talking about this so much and comparing it to so many other games, is that I think that the potential for this thing is really, really high, and it so doesn't get there. For a game that's like this, that I think that we should go back to first before we do one like this, as like finishing up the story. Wasteland. Holy shit, Wasteland. Wasteland is this level of complexity, and the story is better even than that. And it's just instantly usable in a lot of ways. It's really, really smart with how you have to like solve problems and everything. It's great. Wasteland was such a blast to try. Yeah, Wasteland is a fucking trip. It was really, really cool, and I definitely need to actually see more of the story of it. It is on my list. It is one of the only games I actually still just have an image on my desktop, just so I can constantly have a reminder of, hey, someday I need to go back and finish Wasteland, because Wasteland's neat. And this would have that if it wasn't for the fact that, like, doing the inventory management is going to feel like trudging through mud over time. I think that's going to be a problem for me on that one. It's probably just going to be a sticking point. So it earns a spot just out of the top 150. An interesting game, certainly not a perfect one. And our third and lowest ranked Ultima game so far, if we're including a Calabeth, which I think we should include a Calabeth. Ultima Underworld, still pretty rad. Doing some cool stuff in Ultima Underworld. Really neat game. But thank you for being here. I'm going to host you over to somebody else, so don't go away. And of course, remember, you can check out all of the DOScider rankings over at DOScider.neocities.org. You can also go ahead and say hello to my kitty. Hi, buddy. What are you doing, bud? And if you're a sub or a patron, remember, you stop in the Discord. There is a sub-only area for you where you can request a game a month. You can, like I said, check out the YouTube VODs. We've got that whole list, and that's all up on DOScider, where the DOScider.neocities.org, or if you go to ilion.neocities.org, you can see all of the shows that we do. I'll be back again tomorrow with some Roguary, and I really appreciate you all being here. If you like the stream, those follows do mean an awful lot. And like I said, you can join the Discord even if you're not a sub or a patron. It's just the subs and patrons get their games added into here. We're going to have to do a marathon DOS week sometime soon because we fell a little behind with all the real life stuff that's been going on for me. And now it's in the middle of wedding season, so I am very busy. But we'll get back to some more DOS again next week sometime for sure. And we'll do some catching up soon. Other than that, don't go away. We're going to host you over to somebody else. And I'll see you next time.